You guys probably need to go outside right now. Step outside. Feel that nice 38-degree weather. Smell deeply and realize that summer break is 8 days away. You can feel it in that 38 degrees, can't you? 8th graders, you're going to be Jeff High students in 8 more school days. Isn't that nuts? Just a couple more assignments to do, a couple more things to finish up. You're going to be out of here. We'll do some different things next week, probably, but one more week of math here. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what we are doing today. Notice right here that this says number of solutions to equations. Every answer is going to be no solutions, one solution, or infinite solutions. You coming on here and guessing and getting a 25% gets you 0 points. Just know that right now. And I'm certain that that's what some of you will do. Some of you log in, you think that it's doing something for you, and it's not. So let me go ahead and show how to do these so that you can get some of these correct, if not all of them correct. They're not that terribly difficult. So I'm going to come right over here. I'm going to paste that right up there. And I'm going to work this problem out. Now, let me give an example here first. If I solve this out, if I solve this and I get 8 equals 8 in the end, and they both are equal to each other, that's a true statement. I'm going to have all or infinite solutions. If I solve this out and I get something like -4 equals 17, that doesn't make any sense. That is no solutions. And if I solve this and I get something like x equals 4, then that is one solution. The one solution is 4. So let's see what happens when I start to solve this to see what I get. And if you get confused, you can rewind back to that right there and look at those examples to see. So I've got a distributive property problem right there where I need to multiply that 6, or that -6 times x, and I get -6x. Then I'm going to take -6 times 7, and I get -42. Also looks like -42 equals -4x minus 2. Now I can look at this right now and see that both sides of that equation are not identical. So I know it's not going to be infinite solutions. So I now have variables on both sides. And so I need to move the smaller of those two variables. And that's kind of tricky in this situation because they're both negative. And when I have two negative numbers, I want to say that, well, 4 is less than 6, and that's true, but -6 is smaller than -4. So I'm going to add 6x on both sides of the equal symbol. I'm looking for the smaller variable. In this case, -6 is smaller than -4. When I add over here, if I have 4 negatives and then I have 6 positives, 1, 2, 3, 4, then I have 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 positives. I could cancel out 4 of these positives right here with these 4 negatives, and I'd be left with 2 positives. So I'm left with positive 2x there on that side. So I get positive 2x, and I still bring down this -2 or -2. So I have 2x minus 2 now equals -42. This is canceled. Next, I want to add 2 to both sides of the equal symbol. In doing that right there, if I had 42 negatives and then I put 2 positives there, those 2 positives would cancel 2 of the 42 negatives, and I would have 40 negatives left. And then over here, I would have positive 2x. Now I need to divide both sides by 2 to cancel that 2 out and get x alone. 40 divided by 2 is 20, so -40 divided by 2 is -20. X equals -20. Notice that I have an x right here and an answer over here. That means that x has one value, so my answer is going to be one solution. So I jump right here and I click on exactly one solution. Click check. Yay, we're right. And I move on. Next question here, another problem that is going to require the distributive property. Let's jump over here to our Zeitboard. And I can already see the answer right here. I want you to look at this for just a second, maybe pause it for just a second. See if you can just glance at that and see the answer. I bet you can. If I distribute right here and I take negative 4 times x, I get negative 4x. If I take negative 4 times 5, I get negative 20 equals negative 4x minus 20. I want you to notice something. This side and this side are absolutely identical. Everything about them is identical. So no matter what I plug in for x right here, I will plug it in right there. And it doesn't matter what I plug in, I'll get the same answer every time on both sides. If I plugged in 0, negative 4 times 0 is 0. 0 minus 20 is negative 20. I come over here and do that. Negative 4 times 0 is 0. 0 minus 20 is negative 20. Negative 20 equals negative 20. It will not matter what value I put in for x. If I put in the same value on both sides, since both equations are identical, I'll get the same answer every time. And that means that I have all solutions. So let's jump back over here and click infinitely many solutions and check. Okay, right here we're jumping into a number of concepts that we've gone over in the last few weeks. Let's put that up here. And, whoa, something went crazy right there. That's not right. Okay, it wouldn't let me copy it, so I went ahead and just hand wrote it out right here. So right here, I have negative 3x and negative 2x on one side of the equal symbol. And so I need to combine those together. I have 3 negatives. I have 2 negatives. That would give me 5 negatives. And I have a plus 9. Over here, you'll see that I also have 5 negatives. So I'm going to put that in the front. I'm going to put those 5 negatives right there so that I'm writing these both in a similar order, where I have negative 5x in the front, negative 5x in the front. And this says plus 9. This one says minus 12. I can see the answer already, but let's work through this and see what we can come up with. So I've been telling you, when you have variables on both sides, that you find the smaller one, and then you eliminate that. Well, I don't have a smaller one. I have 2 that are the same. But I want to get rid of that negative 5x. To do that, add 5x, add 5x. This cancels, and this cancels. And if you skip back in the video to the beginning of the video, I put something similar to this, where I put 9 equals negative 12. I put a number here and the number here. I put an equal symbol between them, but they are not equal. When that happens, my answer is no solutions. So I'm going to jump back over to the other page, and I'm going to look for an answer that is no solutions. Right there it is. Move on. I believe we have one more question. Yep, 4 out of 4. So here is our final question of the day. Let's jump over here and work this out. I have 20z minus 5 minus 12z equals 10z plus 8. If you'll notice right here, the 20z and the 12z are both on the left side of that equal symbol. And so I want to combine these two like terms together. 20z minus 12. Well, 20 minus 12 is 8. So I get 8z. And then I still have this minus 5 right here. So I'm going to put 8z minus 5 equals 10z plus 8. You'll notice that I don't have identical equations, so it's not going to be infinite solutions. I don't have the same variables on both sides, so therefore it's not going to be no solutions. So I'm going to end up getting one solution right here. I need to move the smaller variable, which in this case is 8z. So I'm going to subtract 8z from both sides of the equal symbol. I'll put a line here to represent both sides. This is canceled. I'll bring down my minus 5. Right here, 10z minus 8z is 2z plus 8. Now I need to get this z alone. I've got to do 2 steps. I need to work PEMDAS backwards. Is there subtraction? No. Is there addition? Yes. The opposite of +8 is -8. Come over here and I put -8. Be careful. I know this still trips you up. I've got 2 negatives. So if I drew out 5 negatives and then 8 negatives, I would have 13 negatives. And then I would have that equal to 2z. I need to divide by 2, and I'm sure some of you would panic right there if you had to do this on your own, because this cancels, and then you say something silly like, you can't do 13 divided by 2. Yes, you can. It's 6.5, but it's negative, so I get z equals -6.5. But I'm not actually even trying to solve this problem completely. I just noticed that I get one answer. I get -6.5 as my answer. So I come back here and I see that I have one answer, one solution. And that finishes us up for today's lesson. When you log in, you're going to need to go to Khan Academy and log in with Google, and you will see that you have a new assignment. See you guys later.